And I think that we have not at all begun to come to grips with the fact that we held people, Americans, in bondage for 400 years. I think that if I can write books based on historical fact that will tell good stories, we can begin the conversation that I hope will eventually have a small bit in healing our nation, because we all suffer from this sin of racism that is rooted in our ignorance of our history. So Isabel was the narrator of this book, and she had a friend, a young man named Curzon. Curzon is the narrator of the new book, Forge. Isabel doesn't really care about the Patriots winning or the Loyalists winning. She just wants to be free, and she wants to find her little sister. Curzon's a little bit more idealistic. He thinks that that American dream, the patriot dream of freedom, and that all people created equal, he's ready to sign up for that. So I'm going to read a short passage. The book opens at the Battle of Saratoga, and he enlists. This is when Burgoyne's army has been defeated, possibly one of the most significant defeats of the British Army ever. And the British Army is marching through rows of American soldiers. This is their humiliation, their defeat. And Curzon, when he was a prisoner of war, had things thrown at him by loyalist people. All the Americans who were captured in New York City were treated horribly by the British and the Tories in New York, and he wants to pay them back. So let me do a short passage here to describe this. Oh, and I should say that this is all the descriptive elements in here I found in primary sources, letters written from gentlemen who were on the scene. The British passed us row by row by row. On the whole, they were shorter than we were, and mostly man-aged. Their uniforms, though dirty, made them look to be a proper army. They moved as one body with thousands of arms and legs. We looked like what we were, an army of farmers and poor craftsmen. Some rebels were white-haired grandsires. We had boys younger than me with no hint of whiskers or manhood upon them. Our fellows of middle years came from New England, New Jersey, New York, Virginia, and Pennsylvania. Fishermen, farmers, cobblers, preachers, school teachers, woodsmen, and every other job under the sun. We conversated and joked mostly in English, but some spoke in languages from over the ocean, and others in the speech of these mountains, for Oneida, Stockbridge, Tuscarora, and Narragansett warriors stood with us. We wore all manner of shirts, waistcoats, breeches, and shoes, though some were barefooted. Looking down our lines, I saw every possible color of hair and eye, though some were missing an eye, and others were bald-headed, as well as all colors of skin, from the darkest black of men born in Africa to the snow-white pallor of the Scotsmen, and all shades in betwixt the two. The appearance of our army recalled the variations of the trees and leaves in the forest behind us. Each soldier stood tall, each soul afire with pride, but no one threw a thing. They didn't shout insults or mocked our captives. "Why is no one jeering?" I whispered. "We should shame them." "Uncle said we must give them honor," Eben said quietly. That's his friend. "This is the first time a British army has surrendered, ever." We stood for hours, all that afternoon, as our 6,000 prisoners paraded between our lines in defeat. I did not understand why, but I chose the course of honor. I stood shoulder to shoulder with the other patriots in a powerful silence.